I'm Chris and I'm from the Northwest. I grow food for people in need and I also keep racing pigeons. I've just started back up after a 7-year break and the sport is on a decline. There's less membership, less clubs, even in them 7 years that I've been absent. Can we as fanciers come together and improve our sport? At the moment, all I see is the clubs declining memberships across. I mean, I haven't been declined, thankfully, but clubs declining memberships based on the level of the fancier applying. I see federations now a very small birdage. Should them federations maybe become the clubs in the future? I mean, several federations were in the Northwest area. Should they be now clubs and they're racing together in a big federation? Help out there if you want to start keeping racing pigeons. We've got like the Young Fanciers thing for the RPRA. We've got members within this hobby that will bend over backwards to help you get started up. I mean, I've had a couple of friends help me start up with pigeons again this year. The sport is an amazing sport, or hobby, whatever you want to class it as. Now, what I like about it is it's not only something that gets you out of bed in the morning, it improves your mental health because you've always got something to do with the birds. You're putting the birds sort of before yourself. So if you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, you've got to get out of bed in the morning to go and sort them birds out. Pigeon racing as a hobby or bird keeping as a hobby brings a social life as well. So when you're visiting the clubs on marking night or on the result night, on generally a Friday and Saturday, unless it's national racing, it could be a Wednesday. You've got that social life. You've got events like Blackpool Pigeon Show. You've got pigeon shows in Holland. You've got pigeon shows in Germany, Poland, pigeon shows in Doncaster. Even, it brings travel as well. It's a great sport, as in you're connected with nature as such. You're taking a bird, you're pairing two birds together, you're breeding your own young birds, you're feeding them, you're giving them all the multivitamins and everything that they require, the vitamins, minerals, and then you're sending them on a race. You're working hard to get them into a good condition to send them onto a race, and then you're sitting there in the garden on a nice summer's day, hopefully, waiting for them pigeons to come back, and the adrenaline, the thrill of that it's incredible. No other feeling than looking up at that sky, seeing a bird, watching its wings fold back, and then diving towards your loft. It's an incredible feeling that you've raised and reared that pigeon, you've got it into condition, you've fed it right, it's come home. I mean, that goes even without saying, like, you go down the club and you've won the race. Just that feeling alone of when the bird's put its wings back and it's diving down towards your loft is incredible. I've been doing TikTok for quite a while now, TikTok lives and that, but I'm relatively out of my comfort zone on YouTube. Don't have much subscribers, so if you want to subscribe, please do. Hit that bell for when I eventually do go live as well or post a new video. So I'm just testing the waters and just seeing how I get on with YouTube. My confidence is a little bit iffy, but let's just go ahead with the journey together, innit? It cost me a lot of money to start back up. However, it does not have to cost money. So if you're a non-fancier watching this video, you can quite happily convert a garden shed. If you were converting a garden shed, like say for instance 6x4 shed, try and go for the cladded one and not the feather edge board, the one that overlaps each other. Try to go for the tongue and groove because it'll keep vermin away. Lift the shed off the floor. So if you've got a garden shed in your garden, lift it on some breeze blocks, let some airflow underneath. Put some ventilation around the bottom of the loft, around the top, bottom of the front, top of the back, and put an aviary on the front or something, do you know what I mean? Some sort of trap for getting them in and out. You can start up on literally a converted garden shed that costs you nothing, that you've already got. And there's fanciers out there that will just breed you young birds to get you off the ground, to get another member into this amazing hobby. The only thing I will say about pigeon racing is when it's in your blood, it's in your blood and it will never leave you, and I am proof of that. I've packed in and started a couple of times, regretfully. It happens, do you know what I mean? Life takes it a different path and a different journey for you. And the reason why I packed in last time was because of my chest. I take precautions now. I was too stubborn to wear a mask for years, so I will say, if you're just starting up with pigeon racing, get yourself some overalls, get yourself some goggles, get yourself a mask, and change before you come back in the house. Go and get a shower, get that dust off you. But yeah, I was too stubborn to do that, and I paid the price for it later down the line. So 7 years ago, I was cleaning the pigeons out, and you know, the dust got to me. I was coughing, sneezing and stuff. I just said, oh, I'm done with it. But that was my fault. We know that birds are dusty, and if we don't take precautions, you know, it's on yourself. It's not on the birds, is it? So now I've had them since just after Christmas, and the dust is not really affecting me. If I'm cleaning out, that's when it gets me. If I'm cleaning out, then, you know, I'm inhaling the proteins from the droppings, and I think that's what I'm allergic to or sensitive to. When I put a mask on, overalls, goggles, I'm fine. You know, I can go and clean the birds out. I can interact with the birds, and it doesn't really affect me. Honestly, didn't write any sort of script or anything to come and talk to you about, so I'm just waffling on. So you'll have to excuse the fact that I'm just waffling on. I just wanted to interact with the people. The last video that I put on yesterday, it's been doing well on views. I mean, it's on 1,800 overnight, and that's the most views I've had on YouTube. I get thousands of views on TikTok, but on YouTube, it's a hard game. But yeah, I want yous in the comments to let me know how you think we can improve the sport, how you think we can attract members into the sport, how you think we can attract new people into the sport. I mean, over the years, I've seen it tried where schools have got involved and tried to sort of get the kids interacting, and it's not really work. I'm thinking more the way the sport's going, it's more ideal for the retired, but then do the retired want to race pigeons, or do they want to retire abroad, like Thailand or somewhere where it's always hot? I don't know, but let me know in the comments what you think and how we can push the sport. I mean, I've been watching a podcast on here called The Loft Line, with Jamie Langrish, Bobby and Tom. I've been watching that every Sunday, so tune in for that. And it's been a way to break the winter up as such, like just listen to the guys, just talk and interact and ask and answer questions in the comments. It's fantastic. Now, Tom has asked me, and Bobby said he'll get me on sometime on the channel. I need to get my confidence up a little bit on there first, but the likes of podcasts, the likes of what the Bird Lounge is doing, is going round, and he come to Blackpool and I showed them around Blackpool a little bit and the auctions. It's getting people interested. The social media side of it is, it can push and it can spark interest. People don't always buy the Home and World. People don't always join a pigeon group on Facebook, but they can stumble across a video on YouTube or TikTok and go, I quite fancy that. I quite fancy giving that a go. So I think social media is a massive influence and a massive tool of what we've got at the minute to try and improve the pigeon sport. Not about myself, but if you do see a pigeon channel on here or on TikTok, drop it a follow, because the more people that interact, the more these videos get pushed out to the general public, and the more interest we might spark with people. The question in the Loft Line the other day as well, do you think that clubs realise that they can access funding pots? And the answer I got from Bobby and Tom and Jamie is, I don't think they do. Now, pigeon clubs, so if any user in a club, pigeon clubs are classed as a non-for-profit organisation. They have a treasurer, they have a secretary, they have a chairperson, and they have a bank account. Now, all they need to apply for funding is what they call a constitution. So they need a constitution, and then they obviously have got the bank account, the treasurer, secretary, chairperson, AGM meetings and all that. They've got all that. So they just need to make sure they've got a constitution. They can apply for their local councils for grants of up to £500 to help with pigeon clubs. And that goes for any sort of community club. There is other forms of funding, like the National Lottery, Awards for All and stuff like that. They can access funding pots via them. They can then apply for sponsorships and stuff from local businesses. There's plenty of clubs that struggle for the likes of premises and stuff, they can apply them for the council to be able to use a council premises for that club on a peppercorn rent of £1. So if there's any clubs out there that are struggling and want to drop me a message and I can help you with that, as in like what you need and how to go about it. I only know this because obviously with the Growing the Food for People in Need, I am a non-for-profit registered community interest company, which is also known as a CIC. So it's very similar to what a Pigeon Club is, being non-for-profit, but without the registration with the Charities Commission. So obviously I'm registered with Companies House and the Charity Commission. They regulate what goes through the Grow Your Own Northwest CIC. But as a Pigeon Club, because it's an organised group of people and it's a non-registered, not-for-profit organisation, i.e. it's a club, but it's still a community club, so it can still access funding pots. And I think clubs need to realise that there is help out there to help me going forward, like premises use, equipment use, stuff like that, do you know what I mean? So look into it. I'm going to be looking for people on this channel throughout, after breeding anyway, do you know what I mean? Obviously people are breeding and they don't want people at the lofts and stuff, but after breeding, prior to racing, during racing and stuff like that. Obviously not on race days, I wouldn't expect to come film on race days, but I'm going to be looking for people to come and do like a little loft visit. Now, years ago for me, we used to buy DVDs and stuff like that. We used to watch Pigeon DVDs with all these big flyers and stuff like that, and that was our winter. What I want to do this year is come out and visit your loft if you're based in like the Northwest area. I'll start on Northwest because obviously I haven't got that sort of funding to be travelling for miles. But I'll start on the Northwest. If anyone wants to have a loft visit and give us a talk about like what you enjoy about the sport, what food you feed, what vitamins, minerals, what line of birds you've got, you know, all that sort of basics, what we used to watch on DVDs. If you want a loft visit, drop me a message, honestly, connect with me. If you cannot get me on here, add me on Facebook, Christopher Jones, or jump on TikTok, Mr. Allotment, and you can message me on there. But yeah, I think that is important to try and inspire others to do it, but not only inspire others to do it as in start up with the sport, but inspire and motivate people already within the sport, because I know wintertime is, it breaks up. I know you start breeding, people are breeding now November time, December, January, so you've only got like a couple of weeks. You're always prepared, and every month you've got something to do with pigeons. But in the winter, in the wet, when there's nothing to do only but feed and water them, and you know, you sit down after work and you want to watch a film, you want to watch something, I'll be looking at doing that. So if you're interested, get in touch. Also going to be looking at for maybe this, if there's any left in this winter, or maybe for next year, attending pigeon moots and asking them if we can video them. So if you're organising a pigeon moot in my area or a pigeon show, drop us a message. Again, let's see if we can work something out. The motivation I've had this year up to now is incredible. Like, I literally decided, I've been toying with the idea since I moved house back in October. I was toying with the idea beforehand, but I put it off because I knew I was moving house. So I managed to get my loft, as I explained on yesterday's video, of someone that had passed away, unfortunately, one of our club members. But then I'd already ordered an eco loft, so I've got a stock loft and a race loft now. But since then, I've had people reach out, do you want any young birds? People that don't even know me on TikTok, do you want young birds? I've got some old birds you can have. Yeah, you can get gifted pigeons here, there and everywhere, do you know what I mean? But I've had people reach out, do you want any equipment? Do you want this? Bobby even said, if you need any equipment, just give us a message, I'll sort you out. Things like that. How amazing is that for people to reach out to some people that they don't even know, to try and help them get into the sport? That's another thing that I really love about the sport, is the community that goes with it. Yeah, there's a lot of bitching that goes with it, but we get that in every industry, don't we? But the community side of it, where people will bend over backwards to help you out, even though they don't know you, they will give you that chance to prove yourself, do you know what I mean? And I like that. And I think more hobbies and interests and more of general day-to-day, people need to be kind. What I want from the sport is I like breeding more than I like racing. I have to admit, I love breeding. But what I want from the sport is I want to start at club racing level, and in 2 to 3 years, when I've built a little bit of a family up, I want to get into the national racing, Midlands National or National Flying Club. It's expensive now, where I believe with birdage and stuff like that, to send pigeons over, based on what I've seen on the loft line off Jamie the other day. But I believe that'll help me also keep the numbers down. It's not a numbers game. I have got too many pigeons already, but they're getting used for breeding off. So we're going to break some in over the next couple of weeks, which I will be documenting on here of how it goes, trying to break in pigeons. But yeah, I think that's my idea, to go into sort of national racing eventually. I do like the channel. Whether it's getting too difficult or not, I don't know. Do you think that us in the Northwest should be now flying North Road, not South Road, and getting a distance in that way up Scotland way? Would there be less restrictions? Do we need to change that tactic? Again, because I've been 7 years out of sport, I'm not too clued up now, so I'm relying on people like yourselves who are watching this video to drop a comment and let me know what your feelings on the sport and how you think it's going, and you know, all like I said previously in the video. I'm waffling on a little bit now, so I'm going to end the video, but I'm going to try and do videos on this channel for like racing, training, feeding, breeding, along with like DIY. So I built the aviary. I've got videos on the TikTok of the aviary getting built, but doing jobs around the loft, like fitting the electrics and stuff. All that's to come on here. Alongside with, again, my usual, I will be putting videos up of me growing food for people in need around the Northwest area. So yeah, tune in. If you're not already, subscribe, hit that bell button, drop a comment, like the video, and just show your support. And I'll catch you all again soon.
It's hard to be alive when you're not here. It's hard to be alright when you're not here.